floor presentations.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we have two floor presentations today. The first being House Resolution number 197, recognizing Kahuku High School for athletic excellence in winning the Hawaii State Football Championship and academic excellence in winning the Hawaii State We the People, the Citizen, and the Constitution competition. This resolution is offered by Representative Fale.
Thank you. Representative Fale?
Mr. Speaker, I move for the adoption of the resolution.
Thank you. Representative Morikawa?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded that the resolution be adopted. Any discussion? Representative Fale?
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the measure.
Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, as the chair of the Education Committee stated, this is Education Week, and I can't think of any better way to start Education Week than to recognize some of the outstanding leaders that we have in education who are with us today. The intent of this resolution is to honor Kahuku High School for two outstanding programs, the varsity football program and the We the People, the Citizen, and the Constitution program. Both of these programs have demonstrated outstanding achievement over the years. Mr. Speaker, I would like to talk about our four honorees today and their contribution to the outstanding achievements at Kahuku High School. First, I would like to introduce Jan Harney, who is a social studies teacher and advisor to the We the People, the Citizen, and the Constitution program at Kahuku High and Intermediate School. We the People, the Citizen, and the Constitution promotes civic competence, the responsibility among the nation's upper elementary and secondary students. The program enjoys the active participation of members of Congress, as well as support from educational, professional, business, and community organizations across the nation. Students compete by submitting essays and face a live panel of judges to test their knowledge of the United States Constitution. This is the second year in a row that Kahuku, We the People team, has won this statewide competition. Mr. Speaker, we want to congratulate the 15 students along with their advisor, Jan Harney, who will be traveling to Washington, D.C. next month for the national competition representing the state of Hawaii. Jan Harney, if you would please rise and be recognized. Second, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to introduce a close friend, very good friend of mine, Coach Reggie Torres, the coach of the Kahuku High School varsity football team. Coach Torres is a 1983 graduate of Kahuku. Prior to coaching the varsity football team, he coached wrestling at Kahuku, guiding Kahuku boys to 2 state crowns and the girls to 3. In 2006, Coach Torres became the 15th coach in Kahuku varsity football history. Mr. Speaker, although football is clearly a contact sport, it is also important to point out that in order to produce a winning football team, a football team needs to have group communication skills, collaboration, planning, and leadership. It is significant to point out that Kahuku varsity football has been gaining a national reputation for producing standout college and NFL players, with 6 out of the last 8 National Football League Super Bowls having a player that graduated from Kahuku High School. That's 6 out of 8, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we want to congratulate Coach Reggie Torres, his coaches, and his players for back-to-back 2011 and 2012 Division I state football championships and a perfect season in 2012 with 12 wins and no losses. If we can have Coach Torres rise and be recognized. Third, I'd like to introduce Gillian Yamagata, the athletic director at Kahuku High and Intermediate School. Mrs. Yamagata has taught upper-level math and coached the varsity tennis team at Kahuku High School for 19 years, while taking 30-plus college credits in math. Became an assistant athletic director and now athletic director at Kahuku High School. Mr. Speaker, we understand that athletics is also about education, and we want to thank Mrs. Yamagata for her dedication in helping students fulfill their academic requirements as students. We also want to congratulate Gillian Yamagata for her leadership and oversight of athletics at Kahuku High School and Intermediate School. If Mrs. Yamagata would rise and please be recognized. Finally, I'd like to introduce Donna Lindsay, principal of Kahuku High and Intermediate School. Principal Lindsay has served as the vice principal of Kahuku High for 2 years, acting principal at Kahuku Elementary, Sunset Beach Elementary, and King Intermediate, the Kahuku Complex School Renewal Specialist for 2 years, and is currently the Complex Academic Officer for Hauula and Kahuku High and Intermediate, where she provides leadership and intensive support for school improvement. Mr. Speaker, we want to recognize Principal Lindsay for her leadership and oversight of these and all other talented teachers and administrators that serve the Kahuku High School, the pride of the North Shore, and the home of the Red Raiders. If Principal Lindsay would rise and please be recognized. Mr. Speaker, prior to today's session, I had a long conversation with both Coach Torres and Mrs. Harney about the last and final pillar that supports the great education system that we have over at Kahuku High School, and that is our community. There's something about being a Red Raider, Mr. Speaker, that is very special and that our community takes particular pride in. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this time.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Morikawa,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In support.
in support, please proceed.
In old Kahuku stands our alma mater. That's it. Mr. Speaker, it has been almost 40 years since my high school days at that glorious school. Not sure about the relation to the current principal, but back then, Mrs. Lokilani Lindsay was my PE teacher. Kahuku has always excelled in athletics, and I'm proud to have been a part of that so many years ago. As for scholastics, although I brought home very good grades, I didn't see a clear career path I want. First, I wanted to be a nurse, then I decided I wanted to be a psychologist, but ultimately I settled in business, and I'm now here in the People's House. I believe that the education I received at Kahuku contributed to where I am today, and for that, I am forever grateful. If Kahuku today is anything like it was 40 years ago, it is supported by the concept of ohana and working together for the benefit of the students. It's obvious that the honorees today are a big part of the school's continued success. So on behalf of myself and the representative of Kahuku, congratulations, and thank you all for maintaining the high standards of a great school. We'll cherish, love, and honor thee. All hail, Kahuku, hail. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Representative. Further discussion on this resolution? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Motion is carried. Representative Fale, please proceed with the presentation of the congratulatory certificates and leis.